I've always said that I found that my best moments are on the other side of my fear. Every time I go and I surf these big waves, that everyone else around me is also really scared, but they also know that in that storm, that can give them an incredible experience. So we move towards the storms, and even though we're uncomfortable, it's where we have some of the most satisfying moments of our life.
Yeah, hey, this is Khosi and Dave Have a podcast. Khosi has lost her voice.
Yeah.
So she'll save it for the questions, I guess. Our guest today is Matt Bromley, big wave surfer, keynote speaker, inspirational guy. Oh. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah, so,
Thanks so much.
The first question, I think it was on your website, you said something about the size of the waves. And I just kind of imagine like an apartment block falling towards you, and then you're standing on a plank and you're like, okay, I'm just going to ride the falling apartment building. What? Why? Why would you do
Why?
How? When?
What? Why?
Yeah, it's not something normal people do. When did you get into this? I mean, what made you go like, I don't know, when did you decide, hey, this is what I want to do, when I want to try this? What was involved?
So is the question when?
The question is like, what made you do this? I mean, it's your career.
Yeah. Well, I was fortunate enough to grow up in Komaki, where there's some of the best big waves in the world.
Yeah.
And my dad was into surfing, so he got me surfing at a young age here in Muizenberg, where we're recording now.
Yeah.
When I was 6 years old, and then we moved to Komaki when I was 12, and right in front of my house there was this out to sea. There's a wave called Sunset, which has now become one of my favorite waves in the world. But I got to watch that from a young age, and I'd see the guys. I'd come home from school and I'd see them using a little rubber duck boat to tow into these like mountains of water. And I didn't actually think that one day I would really do that, because it looked really, really scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved surfing and I enjoyed it. And I also found that I enjoyed it when the waves were a little bit bigger. And I would say one of the biggest things that got me there was just taking little steps. So I was very scared all the time, but I would take little steps. I would often push my fear back a little bit, that boundary back, and allow myself to be a little bit uncomfortable, and then take new ground. And then when I was about 15, I kind of overtook my dad, and then I started dragging him into bigger waves.
Wow.
And he surfed Dungeons actually for the first time. So Dungeons is like the premier big wave spots that we have here. I mean, the waves get like 20 meters high there. They get huge.
That's insane.
He surfed it for the first time, I think, at like 56 or something.
Oh, wow.
He's only surfed it once, but he came out to
Once
watch me.
is enough.
Yeah.
He's got the trophy.
He's
I
conquered it.
surfed
Yeah, he's done it.
Dungeons.
So I guess it was little bit by little bit, and started to, when I was about 17 years old, had a really pivotal session at Dungeons for my first time. Felt like I was almost close to drowning, like I had a really bad experience. And then I also had a wave that I'll never forget that kind of just opened up my whole world. And from that moment on, I kind of wanted to change my focus from competitions, which were all about high performance surfing and smaller waves and doing tricks and stuff. When I'm saying smaller waves, I'm saying maybe as high as like a normal ceiling.
Yeah.
That was kind of what I was dealing with. But big wave surfing now is like the realm of going into deep water and riding waves that, I mean, been out in waves now probably close to 7 stories high.
Sure. And like speaking about the fear, do you still have that fear sometimes when there's like a wave? Because I was watching some of your videos and I was just like, wait, Matt, there's like a big wave coming behind you. Like,
Yeah,
I'm fearful for you. So like, do you still have that sort of fear for like a certain wave that's like coming up?
I always get really scared.
Sure.
Every time there's big waves, I get really scared still. And
Sure.
now we're in September now. The Hawaii season will start like in November. So I'm starting to try to wrap my head around that because that's got like the biggest waves.
Oh, really?
So I'll be going there probably in November, December. And I'm already starting to get butterflies thinking about it even.
Wow.
That's insane. I was actually chatting in the car. I'm just trying to remember what that question was. But I've always kind of felt like surfing is a metaphor for life. And what you guys do is you actually look for the storms because that's where the opportunity is.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll at a drop of a hat. I mean, you'll go, okay, there's a storm, and you book your flights and you head out to wherever it's happening.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think it is such a good metaphor for life, as you say, because we literally are chasing storms, and most people are trying to move away from storms.
Yeah.
And that on that topic of fear, like every time I go and I surf these big waves, everyone else around me is also really scared, but they also know that there's like a big wave in that storm that can give them an incredible experience. So we move towards the storms, and even though we're uncomfortable, it's where we have some of the most satisfying moments of our life. And I've always said that I found that my best moments are on the other side of my fear. So I need to keep going into those stormy situations, and that will help me to keep growing and help me to keep finding big moments.
Yeah. And have you taken that into other parts of your life?
I've got like a whole toolbox of things that I use to help me, like help me with mindset and preparation and training. So I often tap into those if I'm in a scary situation.
Yeah.
But a funny story, I remember when we had our first, so I've got two boys, 4-year-old and 2-year-old. And I remember when we had, the first one was coming along and the due date was near, and I was like, I'm going to go in with my Jaws mindset. That's the big wave in Hawaii. I'm going to be so ready for this. It's going to be hard, but let's go. And I remember by like night 3, I was on my knees praying, just, yes, Lord, put this child back to sleep. I can't handle it anymore.
Yeah, I also have a 2-year-old, and those nights where there's, I don't know, they got a fever or something, and you just up through the night. That's rough.
Yeah. That almost feels worse than the big wave surfing. But no, it's awesome. It feels like when I go and surf these big waves, it gives you this resilience, or you maybe discover this resilience that you didn't know you had, and then I can take that and I can be very calm in other situations that can be quite hectic, because it just, the more you expose yourself to things, the more thick-skinned you get and tougher you get. And
yeah, would you say? I mean, I feel like courage is not the absence of fear; it's the ability to overcome the fear. So, and I mean, what I've heard you say is that you're still scared every time you get in a big wave. And I imagine, like you said, everyone else on there is probably thinking, "What am I doing here again?" Or "Why am I doing this?"
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that. We've recorded 3 of these episodes, and every day I wake up with a podcast happening. I'm like, "Why am I doing this?" And this is not a big wave, but it's still like, I don't feel intimidated. But is it that your courage is growing, or your trust that everything's going to work out fine? Is that growing? What is it that's changing as you keep going back for more?
I think when I was younger, I had maybe some silly courage, where I would go in situations, but I wasn't prepared. Sure. And then, but now, especially now having a family, I'm way more prepared. Like, now I'm 34 and I'm like the most prepared for big waves that I've ever been. My knowledge, my ocean experience, having a network of people around me that can look like if something goes wrong, they'll come in on the jet ski and rescue me. And and like, so now I'm the most prepared that I've ever been, which helps a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more equipped with tools. So like when the feelings of fear start to come up, then I start to like, okay, here we go. Start to work on my positive mindset. I use a lot of visualization.
Yeah.
And so now I think I know a little bit more about what's going to come, and I'm better equipped to deal with it.
Yeah.
But in saying this, like when it's really big, I'm still terrified, you know?
Sure.
And I've had moments where I'm so scared that I'm actually like, I've cried like in the morning. I'm just like, I can't do this, you know? And then,
Yeah.
but then
A few hours later, you're on the wave.
yeah, a few hours later, I'm out there and had some of my best sessions. Yeah.
So
After that, yeah.
you've had some of the best sessions on the days where you've woke up and cried.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I love it.
But I hope that that's encouraging for people, because sometimes people think that, if you do something extreme, you must just be wired differently. But it's actually not really like that.
Yeah.
Like everyone's getting scared, but we're just choosing to go and do it because we have a passion for it, and it means a lot to us. And to me, like I have this deep sense that I've been created to surf big waves. At this point in my life, I feel a deep sense of purpose, like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
This is where I'm meant to be.
Yeah. So getting to that, you said you've been created to surf big waves. So, I mean, just gathering from your Instagram, I feel like you're a man of faith. So can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't be able to surf big waves if it wasn't for my faith, you know,
Sure.
because you go so far beyond your comfort zone when you're in those environments. And I don't know how other people do it, to be honest, but I do. I'm like super prepared and ready for it. But there is a massive gap still, I feel like, from where I am, that what I need to match in those big waves. And so there's a giant leap of faith every time. And I always like the one particular morning I was sleeping in a tent in Hawaii in someone's garden, and I had got there the night before, so I traveled across the whole world for 3 days. That was in COVID. Arrived the night before, slept in a tent, and hardly slept that night, but could hear the waves 10 kilometers away at Jaws starting to, when the swell arrived, I could hear this waves roaring 10 kilometers away.
Oh my God.
And I woke up in the dark in my tent, and I was so scared. And then that particular time was when we had just found out that my wife was pregnant, and that was the day of the baby scan. And I got sent the baby scan at 5 a.m. I could hear the waves thundering, and I just looked at the baby scan. It was this little pea-sized little being with a heartbeat already, and I just started crying my eyes out. And the last thing I wanted to do was go and surf those big waves, you know. But then I always have, like, I read my Bible and have a big prayer, especially on those days. And I was just filled with this incredible sense of purpose and peace. Like, yes, I'm still scared, but I know that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. It was this incredible feeling.
Wow.
And I went out and I had a session where the waves were like 20 meters high, and I had like, I shouldn't have been able to do that, but I just felt held. And that session then got me invited onto the Big Wave World Tour. And so that session actually changed everything for me in my career.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I mean, you also did mention that one of the things you did get from surfing is the courage that comes with it. Do you think there are any other like skills or things that you feel like you have now because of surfing, especially for someone who would like to actually partake in surfing?
Yeah, I mean, there's like the fitness you get from surfing. There's it grounds you when you're out there in the ocean. You know, like life is so busy, and when you go out into the waves, you just feel this like sense of, you can zoom out a bit, see the bigger picture.
It's like a meditation.
It's like a meditation, except when the waves are really big. You know, but it's just an incredible way to like reset, you know.
Sure.
And the cold water in the Cape Yard washes over you, and sometimes it even gives you a little bit of like we call it an ice cream headache.
Yeah.
It's so cold, but then when that goes away, you just feel like refreshed, you know.
Amazing.
And think clearly.
Sure.
And it's, when you're out there, you're also just talking to strangers all the time, you know, when you're waiting for a wave. So it's just like such an amazing reboot, grounding. And in doing it as a profession, it's also taught me so much discipline. And discipline, like, because I think a lot of the time we wait for a deadline and then we act, you know, and we work when we see the deadline. But with the big wave stuff, the storms are going to be coming and we've got to be ready long before, you know. So when I'm training, even 6 months in advance, I've got to be training with the intensity and the focus as if those big waves are going to be hitting tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
So
I was surfing out in, it was in Noordhoek a couple of years ago. Actually, Rich was there with me. And it was one of those days where, you know, I'm a weekend warrior. I surf once a week. And those waves, I shouldn't have been in there. And I knew that when the first wave wiped me out and held me under, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then the leash snapped on the board. And it's like, it's not, I don't think it's anything like sunsets or dungeons, but I definitely got a real sense of, wow, this is terrifying. I joked with my wife, like when I got home, I was like, I saw your gran today. And she's like, what? My gran's been dead for years. I was like, yeah. Yeah. I was like, I shouldn't have been in that water.
it's a horrible when you realize you're out of your depth.
Yeah.
And then you're like, but you're already out the back. So then no one's going to come save you. And you're going to get yourself out of there.
Yeah.
It's a horrible feeling.
I just, but as soon as I got to the surface, I saw another wall of just white coming to me, just the foam. And it hit me again, and I was like, okay. But I thought, I kind of told myself, well, every time you get hit by this water, it's taking you closer to shore. So this is okay.
That's a good way to think about it,
And just don't fight it, and just go with the flow. Because I mean, that was the thing. Is like you
can't fight it.
You know, I remember from swimming, like back in like Durban or whatever. You know, you kick off the ground, and then you get to the surface, and I was like trying to kick off nothing, and I'm like trying to fight the bubbles, and it's like, you can't do that.
No.
So how you do, I know you do a lot of preparation for big waves, and a lot of that must be in just relaxing when it's got you.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard, like as humans, we want to be in control, you know? So like we suddenly get almost liken it sometimes to like if you know, like some swimming pools have a cover over them, you know?
Yeah.
If you go under and then you're swimming under the cover and you can only come up on the other side where the cover is against the wall, you know, like you can't come up until you get to the other side. Like just that feeling is like, it makes us want to panic.
Yes.
And because we have to surrender control, we have to relax and wait till we've got to the other side. It's very much, I feel like that in big wave surfing where you have to just go with the flow. As you said, you have to surrender control. And it's also, that's a great lesson for life. I think sometimes like you can't always be in control, and you're probably not. I think all the situations where I've really grown in my life, I have been out of control. I've had to surrender a bit and just trust things are going to be okay. Yeah. And in big wave surfing, or in surfing, the ocean is so much more powerful than we are.
Yeah.
So you have to control, like really take control of your thoughts. I think that's probably the biggest thing. Yeah. Because when you're under the water, your first thought might be, get to the surface. I need to get up now. Oh, my breath is running out. I need to get up right now. Oh, the wave's holding me down longer. Oh, I shouldn't be here. What am I doing? Oh,
yeah.
And they just spiral out of control, you know? So you have to take control of your thoughts, be mentally strong, be like, I'm good. I got this.
Yeah.
And it's incredible as you control your thoughts, how your body responds. Like when your thoughts spiral out of control, your adrenaline goes up, your heart rate goes up, and everything just spirals.
And you start burning oxygen.
You will literally be able to only hold your breath for maybe 5 seconds. You know, you feel like you're going to drown.
Yeah.
Whereas you can hold your breath for way longer. But when you control your thoughts, you can take hold of them and think like positive thoughts, like, okay, I'm still good. I've trained for this. Just enjoy it.
Can I ask you about you had quite a wipeout in Mexico a while back. Can I ask you about that?
Yeah,
to
of
tell
course.
The story?
This is my scar here.
Yes.
Yeah. But it goes all the way back to like the middle of my head here. So it was.
So what happened?
That was quite crazy because I've had a big wave career of being. I've had really bad wipeouts, but I've never actually had a bad scenario or anything bad like happened to me. And I went to Mexico on a trip with Monster, we were chasing a big swell, a big storm going there, and we're surfing a wave called Porto Escondido, which is it's a beach break wave.
Yeah.
So most of the big waves we're surfing are more on reef, because the reef, it focuses the energy in a way that's more predictable. So you have the reef, and then you have a deep zone next to it. So the ocean's deep there, and it's shallow on the reef, and the shallow part focuses the energy into a predictable way. Whereas a beach break is just moving sand under the water. So there can be a wave 100 meters that way, 200 meters that way, one breaking on your head, it's very unpredictable.
Yeah.
And Porto is a beach break, and it also goes from very deep to shallow. So the energy, the ocean floor, so the energy comes in and it stays very, it doesn't lose any of its energy dragging over. Like Muizenberg, for instance, it's shallow far out to sea. So as the swell comes in, it drags and it loses energy. And by the time it's breaking where you're surfing, it's very, very weak.
Yeah.
So in Mexico, it's deep just off the back. That energy comes in, and then it suddenly hits a very shallow sandbank, and it just unloads like these big barreling waves. So it is a very dangerous place.
Yeah.
And it delivers big, beautiful barrels, which is one of the best things in surfing,
Yeah.
And I was sitting out there, and this wave came to me. It looked like a really good one, and I paddled in and I pulled up into the barrel, and then it the wave kind of went into a bit of a current, and it just closed on me. And I did what I do every time. I just pin dropped off the front of the board to go under the water and hold my breath. But as I landed in the water, the nose of the surfboard just hit me so hard in the head. The impact was just quite overwhelming. And I suddenly grabbed my head, and I felt something away from my head, and I thought, is that my surfboard, or is that my face, or what is that? And it was like a big flap of skin. And then I was in the wipeout, and my immediate thought was God, please help me to get out of this. I think of my family and everything.
Yeah.
And also I did a quick scan to see if I was going to be conscious, because the most dangerous thing in surfing is if you get hit in the head and you get knocked out, then you can drown. Sure. So I was trying to say, am I thinking clearly? Am I going to kind of pass out, or and I was kind of doing a body scan while in the wipeout. I think I'm clear, I'm good. And I came up and I was thinking clearly, and then I had lots of blood coming over my one eye, so I couldn't really see. And then another big wave landed on me, and I had to go under again, holding my head. And then a third wave came over me, and then basically, I had to paddle about half a kilometer down the beach to a safer zone with all the surfers came around me. A little fishing boat came and picked me up. And I remember jumping into the fishing boat, and I didn't know if it was my blood or it was the fish blood. It was full of fish, but it was bleeding everywhere. And then I got to hospital, and they gave me 35 stitches. Yeah.
So in that moment, was there ever I don't want to do this ever again, I quit?
You know what? It actually wasn't like that, weirdly enough. I think my faith played a big role in that moment, because I just surrendered again. And I just said, God, please help me. Please give me back to my family. And I had this it was stressful, but I had this underlying peace through it all, which was incredible. And I knew I was going to be okay. Even though I had this massive gouge in my head, I knew I was going to be okay. And I was just trusting, because also when you're in Mexico, you're hoping you're going to get a doctor that knows what he's doing, there was a doctor on call there who wanted to start operating, but he would have probably just tried to sew me up, whereas I needed a surgeon to do internal stitches and do a precise job, because it's also over my face. But it all worked out really well. And then my overwhelming sense after that was I was so grateful. I was so grateful I could go back to my family. I was grateful I was okay. I was going to be able to surf again. So that was actually, after everything, it was actually an amazing experience. I'm so grateful that I get to do this. And I also felt I was really prepared. So I guess that also helped me to have a bit of resilience in it, because I was prepared for it. I wasn't caught off guard or anything. It was a bit of a freak accident. And so
it's weird
that feeling of gratitude was pretty awesome. It was great.
It's weird to be prepared for something like that, though. It's so my brain goes
well, you prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
And that was one of the worst case scenarios that I guess I'd prepared for over and over again. It never actually happened. And then when it did happen, I could actually survive it,
Yeah.
Almost in a sense, putting the training to the test as well in a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do that for everything? Like just prepare for the worst?
I
in
do
everything that
kind
you
of,
do?
yeah. I'm
Sure.
quite like, I think I'm quite OCD in my preparation for things. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like when
Sure.
I used to do public speaking things, I would just know every single word. And I would just go over and over and over and over and over again. I know every single word.
Yeah.
But now I'm in a point where I can more just be free about what I say. But
Yeah.
like the preparation thing has always been a big deal for me
Yeah.
to be really prepared.
So to the public speaking thing, people hire you to speak, to give your keynotes and that kind of thing. Just, if anybody wanted to hire you, or what is it what is your message? What do you do at these?
So the message is that it's my talk is called Storm Rider. It's all about building a mindset to face storms. And the essence of it is that in every storm, there's a big wave of opportunity to ride. So the storms bring us I believe, the potential for growth and for resilience and for breakthrough and for our best moments. So how we get in the right mindset to take hold of those opportunities,
Yeah.
Is the storm here like the bad things in life?
I mean,
or-
it can be, but like if you think of just the challenges we face, like change.
Okay.
Like change, I think, is a big one. It freaks all of us out, But when things change, there's opportunities for something beautiful to come from that. But you have to be in the right mindset. You got to be prepared.
Yeah.
You got to accept that it's going to feel uncomfortable. You got to take a risk when the time is right.
Yeah.
So there's things that you can do to, I guess, be ready for those challenges. So that's what I try to help people with. Yeah.
And that takes quite a lot of, I guess, an optimistic kind of, I'll get through this.
approach, yeah.
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 What
Literally.
you're saying to yourself, the words that are going through your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
those things are so important.
And who are the talks really aimed at? Is it the youth? Is it for surfers specifically?
I think my heart is for youth. I've been doing most of my talks recently for businesses, which has been super cool.
Sure.
I'm doing a big one on Thursday out in Stellenbosch for a big finance firm, which is awesome. But I think my heart really is working with youth, and I'm fleshing out now, like, because I've also done my life coaching certificate, so I'm fleshing out now how to work with teen boys. My wife is a therapist, and she says teen boys are so difficult to get to speak about things, like girls will, I think they will naturally talk about challenges they're going through, but often I think teen boys just, they don't want to be vulnerable. And even though they're feeling all those things, they keep it suppressed. And so I would love to try and work with teen boys. Yeah.
So how do you even navigate talking to them and actually having them understand and be interested in what you have to say to them?
Well, I think maybe it's more like asking them the right questions, but firstly providing the right environment so they feel safe. So I think I'm trying to flesh out my mind, but ideally I'd love to take someone for like a surf or like paddle out to sunset, sit on a board in a new environment, just chat, build trust.
Yeah.
I work with some boys in Ocean View with an organization called Sailor Surf.
Yeah.
And every Wednesday we take like 8 of the boys there surfing, and we try to do one-on-one sessions with them, and it is really hard to get them to share, but like sometimes they're at random moments when I think when they trust you, you give them the opportunities to share, then they'll share.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's one of the things that men, like, we just don't. It was just, I guess it's a generational thing. Like, I remember, I think when my father passed away. Oh no! When he was diagnosed, he had normal pressure hypercephalus, normal pressure hydrocephalus, which is basically the liquid that your brain's floating in. It stops draining, and so I think my mom said to the pastor, "Oh yeah, this is what's happening." And the pastor was like, "Oh, that's why he takes so many headache pills." And my mom was like, "What?" Like, I didn't know. Like, he never shared that with her,
Even with your mom.
Even with my mom, she didn't know. And I remember she found, I think, it was years later, going through stuff or whatever, there was just empty boxes of grandpa headache powder and and it's like, it's so. That is, I guess, that's my generation. My generation's model is people like my dad who. That was not, you don't speak about things, you know.
Just be tough.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, their parents, they all went through, you know, the wars and all kinds of things. And so, like, my mom's dad never spoke about things. He saw terrible things wherever he was fighting. It was just, and so to normalize just speaking about our feelings, like guys just are like, I don't really, you know, like ladies speak about their feelings. I'm a man. So that's you as a father of two boys, as you said, like how would you approach normalizing that kind of thing? I don't know if it's
sure.
Sorry, threw you in the deep end there, Matt.
She's a therapist, but,
yeah, you're okay. You can hold your breath.
I don't know, maybe also just like being vulnerable yourself.
Yeah.
You know? I think that might be the first point. And I think when you share yourself, then it gives other people the permission to also share, you know. When you share a bit of vulnerability, then it suddenly if you have one or two people sharing, the trust and the connection is just so much deeper.
Yeah.
And my wife is doing this course with a guy called Gabor Mate. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Oh wow, yeah. My wife is a huge Gabor Mate fan. Yeah.
So he deals with like people with traumas and how they come up later in life. You know? And he says when you go through something that's tough, you suffer, but the trauma is not in the thing itself. It's that you have no one to talk to about it afterwards. That's where the trauma comes in.
Wow.
So I just think that's if you can have someone to speak to about your things, that when you go through tough things, it doesn't mean that it has to turn into like trauma, you know, which is so powerful.
Yeah. A random question that we've actually just been asking our guests, and it's actually produced some interesting answers, is if you were president and you had 5 years to do whatever you wanted with South Africa, what would you change? What would you focus on?
Sure. Probably work on expanding like housing programs so people feel safe.
Yeah.
And I guess when you have a home, you feel safe and you feel a little bit more valued. And then also, I guess, working with investing into schools and youth and organizations that teach life skills. And just instilling hope, because a lot of kids just don't have any hope, you know?
Yeah.
And you can see the difference when someone has hope, then suddenly they're like showing initiative and they have an optimism and they're excited about life. Whereas there's a lot of kids who just don't have any hope and they don't believe maybe they're even worthy of doing something cool with their life, you know, it's such a shame, you know, because everyone has beautiful gifts. Everyone's unique and only you can do what you can do, you know? And so there's such a loss for everyone else.
And is there anyone that you look up to right now? Maybe you're just aiming to do whatever you're doing exactly like them or even better than them.
My dad is definitely a big inspiration for me.
Sure.
He's like 70 now and he's still charging pretty big waves and just going for it, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
And then my godfather's name is Glenn B. He used to be one of the top big wave surfers in South Africa.
Your godfather.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But he's just so humble and he's just been through, he was in a coma for like months. Like people didn't think he would even be able to walk again. And he's so humble. He never actually speaks. He's so optimistic despite everything he goes through. You know, he doesn't have any taste because of the accident. There's so many things. His memory's bad, but he's just so like empowering of other people. When you're with him, he just makes you feel like empowered, you know. And I would love to be able to do that. That would be. I think that's such a cool thing. If you can make someone else feel good about themselves and feel like empowered.
That's incredible. And I mean,
cool.
your boys, you're gonna get them in the big waves one day.
I think medium waves.
Average waves, like the average wave surf.
I think like also for my wife, Shame, she stresses a lot. So I think if we had our kids doing it too, it would be a lot for her.
Yeah, no, it must take a special person to marry a big wave surfer.
Shame, and she knew what she was in for. But yeah, she's amazing. Like, because she has to go through a lot. Like when I travel, and then sometimes I'll be away for a month, and she's got the 2 kids at home, and
Yeah.
she's also got her career.
Yeah.
So she's so like put out, and then when a big swell comes, she's so scared for me.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
So it's really hard for her.
That phone call from Mexico must have been.
That was hard. It was
Yeah.
really, really hard. Yeah. We both just, I was like super strong up to that point, and then that's when I like broke down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And has your family ever tried out surfing though? Especially the kids.
Yeah, it's funny
Everybody's tried
because
it
my
out.
wife is like, she won't go anywhere else but Muizenberg. Like a wave this big is like her
amazing.
max. I'm always giving her my big wave pep talk, It doesn't work on her.
Yeah.
And then my kids, so the oldest one's 4, so we go boogie board together. He like lies under my chest and we ride waves together, which is the best.
That's
And then the little one is 2, and he's like the big talker. He's, I'm gonna get barreled today. I'm gonna get big waves, and then we go to the beach, and then he won't even get his toes wet,
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's so good. That's so good. Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, gosh.
I'm actually intrigued. So you said you give them the pep talk. What's the pep talk? Especially maybe for me, because I might be interested in doing it.
Okay.
How do you get someone interested in actually just going into those waves?
I don't know. I think it's just going for it. Like,
Yeah.
even if you're going to maybe feel a little bit scared, but it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just muster the courage and just go for it, and I'll be like, I go out with her. I'll make sure that she's safe,
Yeah.
Sure.
So she's going to be safe and she can just go for it, and it's going to be amazing.
So,
But the fears always just creep in. Yeah.
so you said you take some youth out from Ocean View, take them out to, did you say sunsets?
No, well, I've taken a kid out there, but when there were no waves.
Oh, when there were no waves. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, because
yeah,
I was wondering like what level, like, oh, you'll be fine, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Bromley.
Yeah,
Maybe today's not the day to do that.
no, it was totally flat, and I just like we
okay.
visualized what it would be like if there were big waves, and that was really cool. But there weren't any waves out there.
And then that's that visualization thing. That's awesome. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing. Rich doing our sound is also a surfer. I don't want to finish this thing if he's got any questions.
I'm actually fascinated because I had a bad experience surfing once as well. I washed up in rocks in Plet on the wild side there. And that kind of trauma has followed me in my surfing wherever I go. Like suddenly I'm got like heart palpitations and whatever. And I realized that I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's like my body reacting. It's not what I want. It's not what I'm reacting.
Yeah.
And so I'm interested to know when you're out there in the water, how are you processing this stuff? Fear comes. So where are you placing that? What are you doing with that fear?
Yeah. I mean, a big part of it is feeling a sense of purpose, I think. Like if I was just doing it for myself, like as an adrenaline junkie, I feel like that would be quite selfish. But I feel like a big sense of purpose when I'm out there, so the fear's there, but I also feel like, no, I've prepared for it. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be, and then very important is like the dialogue that's going on in my mind. And the amazing thing about surfing big waves, so I focus on the paddle in surfing. So there's like the one side of it is with the jet ski where you get towed in. So you see the wave far out to sea, and then the jet ski tows you in at high speed, Whereas when you paddle in surfing, you have to wait, and the wave towers over you like a mountain.
Yeah.
You look up, and then you've got to make the decision to say yes and go for it. And that's really, really hard to do when a big wave towers over you because it's so scary. So the dialogue that's going on in my mind, I'm very aware of it, because I think fear is often something that creeps in and we're not even conscious of it, but it's, as you say, in your body, you feel it, and your body's just pulling back, and your adrenaline is up and you're not even really aware of what's going on. So I'm super aware of the dialogue that's going on, and that's how that affects my body and so the anxiety creep when I see the horizon go like dark when the big set comes, feel the anxiety and the fear start to churn in my stomach, and then so often when I go into the water, I will have a catchphrase, or maybe it's a Bible scripture or something. I'm holding on to that thing. And it could even be just the word yes. Like,
oh wow.
So I see it and I feel the fear, and then I say yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. And it's amazing how focusing on that, suddenly I just feel this flood of energy, and I try turn my anxiety into excitement. Because it's a very, in our bodies, anxiety and excitement are very, very similar. It's the same symptoms, but it's very different outcomes. So the automatic response for most of us when we encounter a big task is anxiety, like the unknown or something big. The automatic response normally is anxiety. And so I try to use these triggers in my mind to reroute that into excitement. And I can feel the difference. I can notice like the feeling of not wanting to go and pull back and doubt. And I start saying yes, yes, yes. And I move into excitement. And then there's this sense of purpose and leaning forward and paddling harder and more commitment and all those amazing things that you need to catch that big wave. And then, I think the dialogue that we tell ourselves in our mind leading up to a big moment, but also in the moment, is very, very important because our body responds to the thoughts in our mind.
How hard do you have to paddle for a big wave?
Very hard. Because the big waves are moving much faster than smaller waves. So that's why we also use a big surfboard. So I use in the big waves, at least a 10-foot long surfboard to build up enough paddle speed, because the wave is moving so fast forward. Even if there's no wind, it creates its own offshore wind.
The wave creates its own wind
because it's moving forward so fast. So
and it's so
the
big.
Static air is going up, and then also as the wave starts to feel the reef or the sand, it starts to suck water up the wave face. So all of the factors, are the wind and the suck up the face, are pulling you almost backwards, and you've got to
fight that.
You've got to fight that to get down the wave face, because the wave starts like this, and then you take off when it's maybe like that.
Oh my goodness!
And then you've got seconds before it goes like that, and if you're a little bit too late, it's throwing you in front of the wave into the flats, and it's going to crash on you. So you've got to get down the wave before it's too steep.
Sure.
And it's split seconds, and sometimes some waves are not actually rideable for paddling in. They get too steep too quickly. So you also, when you're trying to get the best wave of your life, it's that fine line between the wave's going to be too steep and too critical too quickly, but those are the ones also that give you the most insane ride.
So I mean, there would be a difference between those waves. You'd have it. Jesse
the toe in.
Yeah.
So when you're towing, you can catch the wave when it's flat.
Oh, okay.
You get towed in, and you're already riding on it, and then the wave will rear up behind you, but there's no drop.
Okay.
Drop in. So you're riding on the flat swell, and then the wave will rear up behind you. But the main danger and the hardest part is the drop in, because the wave is going from there to steep so fast.
Yeah.
And you can only paddle in so quickly when you paddle in surfing, and you got to get down the wave. Yeah.
So when it's, on a big wave, when it's here and you're there on the drop in, how, just out of interest, how high are you? How far down are you looking on the wave?
I think the biggest wave that I've paddled into is about maybe 18 meters high,
18
50
meters
foot.
high, 50-foot wave.
So I remember looking over the edge, and the bottom of the wave was far below, and it's such a good metaphor for life, because you can't make that unless you have full commitment.
Yeah.
So you got to be, once you decide to go, you got to be all in.
Yeah.
And that's an amazing feeling when you've decided I'm going.
Yeah.
And you just go for it.
Yeah.
At that point, you're going down that water cliff
Super
face.
steep wave. Yeah.
You're either going to be on your board, or you're going to be flying to the air.
Or you're going to be flying through the air.
Yeah.
And if you hesitate, you get stuck at the top of the wave, and the wave will throw you. And the wave will crash on you, and then that's when that thing pulls you deep under the water
and holds you down.
It feels like you're in a violent washing machine. Your limbs feel like they're going to get pulled out of their sockets. Your ears are popping, and the wave holds you down for.
Yeah. How long do those big waves hold you down for?
So, not as long as what you would think. So my longest that I've ever been under is probably about 25 seconds.
Okay.
But I've also got an inflation vest, so I can pull it, and then it inflates me with air. But it's almost like if you run 100 meters, get your heart going as fast as you can. Then you take a breath and wrestle someone, you know.
Sure.
You might be able to go for 4 seconds before you're, or 8 seconds before you're out of breath, you know, like your breath goes like that in those intense scenarios.
Yeah, your body's oxygen deprived already at that point. Yeah.
And from like when you started surfing, would you say there's like a difference now or growth in surfing both in South Africa and in the world at large?
Well, people are always pushing the limits more and more. Like the safety and the equipment is getting better and better and better. So it's less, I would say it's less risky than it's ever been, because whenever we're surfing those big waves, we've got jet skis out, we've got the inflation vest. So there's hardly anyone is actually dying in the sport. Whereas before, it was maybe a little bit more for like adrenaline junkies, you know, like they would surf by themselves with no flotation. So people would get held under sometimes by 2 or 3 waves in a row, you know, like, and then people could drown. So people are pushing it a lot more. And I think surfing, I mean, if you just look at Muizenberg, like on a good day, there can be, I don't know, almost 1,000 people out in one go.
Yeah,
it's just like ants. Everyone wants to
amazing.
Surf. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's
because it does give you those like, it's just the best feeling when you go out there in the water and you're in nature and you ride a wave. You ride, like if you think about it, you're actually riding this energy that's passing through water. And you can catch that.
It's incredible.
One of my good friends who just came down from Durban, he was like all about ball sports. You know, he's very good at like golf and cricket and all that stuff. And then he got married to this girl who surfs, and they moved to Muizenberg, and now he's dropped like everything else. And he's the learning curve in surfing is quite slow, because not only do you have to learn how to stand up on your board and balance, but you have to learn how to read the ocean, which takes a very long time to learn how waves break and work, and currents and winds. There's so much to learn. So you'll see like often at Long Beach, where I live in Komaki, you'll see like, I've seen guys like professional cricketers or rugby players, and you can see they're coming in, they're fit and they're strong, and then they're getting just dumped in the shore break. You know, they're underwater more than they're above the water.
That's amazing.
That's so funny
you get hooked quickly, because it's the best thing. Yeah,
it's incredible. That's incredible.
How long does it actually take to become a pro?
A pro?
Yes, like say now I can compete.
Sure. I think you have to start when you're young.
Yeah.
Sure.
You got to get those like early feels for it, you know, everything becomes second nature. When you're riding on a wave, every wave is different as well. It's not like a skateboard ramp where it's exactly the same and you can just practice that trick, you know. So as you take off on the wave, you have a thought in your mind what tricks you want to do on the wave, but then as soon as you get to the bottom, it's already changing. So everything is second nature. You're just adapting to what the wave is doing, you know.
Sure.
So it's a very like, it's a long process. If you want to be a pro, I think you got to start young.
So I can't start now. I won't be a pro. Okay.
Who knows? Maybe underground big wave charger, hey? Big wave surfer.
Amazing. No, this is great. My sister has a question.
I have 2 questions.
2 questions.
I want to know, like, the state of the oceans. The state of the oceans. Like, have you seen a change in that? And do you feel a responsibility as a surfer to like save the seas?
I have seen, like, I've been fortunate enough to travel to like some of the most isolated islands, like where there's no one for I don't know, hundreds of kilometers, you know, and there's just like trash everywhere on the beach.
Oh, wow.
Like all the crabs are like in amongst ocean plastics and like can't believe, you know, sometimes your beach is clean, but like can be a beach in the middle of nowhere that's just littered with trash and stuff, you know. And
Wow.
I really enjoy spearfishing. So like you hold your breath, you go under and you shoot a fish for dinner. So I'm also very aware of like all the overfishing that's going on. That's so sad, because my grandpa was a big fisherman and the ocean just used to be full of fish and life. And now it's like very hard to get size fish a lot, you know, all the fish are small. And I think my focus is more on people than on like the ocean. Because when kids are in survival mode, the last thing they want to do is pick up plastic, you know.
Yes.
But if you can work through that, then they can become educated on how to also preserve the ocean and all that stuff. So yeah, I love working with people and kids, and
Yeah.
that's kind of where my passion is. Yeah.
I mean, this has been. I'm super happy. This has been an amazing conversation.
Yeah, it's been
is-
great
Very
talking to you
nice.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you too.
It's been
Yeah,
awesome.
no, it's great. Where to next for you?
So I think next will be Hawaii,
Yeah.
probably. And I was also excited to see, because we need a visa for like everywhere we go, you know.
Yeah.
And I got a visa last year for Ireland
Oh wow.
to try, because there's good waves there too.
Yeah.
And I thought it was only, they normally give you like a few months, and I looked now and I've actually got 2 or 3 years. So
Oh, amazing.
Ireland's also open for me to go.
Yeah. But that's in the winter you go to Ireland.
Yes.
And
so
over this coming season.
that'll
And
be
it's
in the season
cold,
coming.
I've heard.
Yeah, it gets really cold.
Like
yeah.
cold.
Really
yeah, yeah, amazing.
Like snow on the mountain, sometimes snow on the beach, and
Sometimes snow on
you're
the
just
beach.
freezing, and the waves are big and scary there. and-
Oh, amazing.
but it's
Yeah.
also amazing. So
It's
those will be my next two. Kind of
amazing because you
things, yeah.
don't associate. I mean, I don't. I've heard about the waves in Ireland. That's why I know about it. But for most people, they don't go like Ireland and big wave surfing. It's not quite.
Yeah,
no.
no, it's some of the best waves in the world there.
Yeah,
It really is amazing. So.
That's amazing.
And the people are also really cool.
Yeah,
You know, like
awesome.
typical Irish, they're like very, very humble, but then charging
Yeah.
huge waves. Yeah.
And I imagine
Super
when
cool.
there's like a big swell, like in Hawaii or Ireland, you head over there. Like it's kind of like a reunion with a lot of like
It
friends
is,
from
yeah.
all over the world.
Yeah, it is like that.
Yeah.
You see the same faces, because like Jaws is seen as like the best big wave in the world, you
Yeah.
know. So there's hundreds of people, maybe hundreds, I don't know, but there's only a certain amount of people who actually want to surf that wave because of how big it is. But there will
Yes.
be lots of people watching from around the world, and when they see that swell, so you look for the big swell, but then you also need the right conditions.
Yeah.
It can't be too windy,
Yeah.
because then the ocean's a mess. So you need the perfect conditions and all that. And when that happens,
Yeah.
you'll see all those same faces there. And then there'll be helicopters. There'll be like 3 drones forming your wave. There'll be
Yeah,
40 jet skis in the water. There'll be
Amazing.
thousands of
Oh.
people on the cliffs watching.
spectators and boats and
Yeah. It's a whole
and I
thing,
just
yeah.
I love the names of some of these big waves, like Jaws.
Jaws,
One-
Dungeons.
The one I heard about this week was it's called Dracula. It's a wave in Africa.
Okay.
And they call it Dracula because it will have your blood.
Okay.
It's just like, oh man, that's
You know
just
what? I
awesome.
think that
Yeah.
the local people who discovered it want to try and deter people from coming to surf their waves.
Yeah,
so they,
yeah, that's
they,
right.
like
Yeah.
probably wanted to sound the gnarliest it can be to scare people away.
Oh yeah,
But
but
surfers are very selfish often.
yes, yeah,
When they find a wave, they don't want other people to come surf their wave.
yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. I've been to Nazare once, and I paddled it, and I had a really bad experience actually.
Oh,
I snapped my
really?
leash and I got ripped off the jet ski by a huge wave, and I ended up crawling up the beach, coughing up blood. And
What?
I just got felt like Itzabeth tackled me like 5 times in a row. I was just rattled. My brain felt like it had been.
Yeah.
I was looking at the horizon and it was just moving like this. You know, I'd just been so rattled in all
Yeah.
directions, and I don't really want to go back there, to be honest.
You're not too keen to go back to Nazare.
No.
Are there other waves you also won't do?
There's one wave that my wife has said I'm allowed to surf in Australia. It's called the Right, and it throws barrels like as big as this room.
Yeah.
But it also like that particular wave it's very deep water. Then there's like this mushroom rock that's pops out of the deep, and the
yeah.
wave breaks on that, and then it goes very deep after. So all the water surges over the rock, and then it just forms this underwater waterfall that goes down really deep. And
oh wow.
often people get held under for like 2 or 3 waves in a row, and you can't get up to the surface. You know? And it's breaking in southwestern Australia, like far out to sea. You know, you're far from help.
Yeah, well, that makes sense not to do that one.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that one.
Your wife's got to have a few waves. She can say no.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's amazing. There was one other question.
Do you guys have any big fears that you feel like
Yeah.
are holding you back?
Definitely a fear of heights, because I feel like I have a fear of heights, and I literally have to overcome that fear in everything I do. Sometimes like bridges that you have to cross, like pedestrian bridges, I find them terrifying. I cannot do them at all, literally.
Yeah.
In Joburg, I stay near Gold Reef City. I literally just do like 3 rides, and it's usually the scooters that are just going around. And I always say, okay, this time I'm going to do the anaconda, I'm going to do the high ones, and I never do them. So I just think I never have that much fun, you know? Like even in pool areas, I never go on the slides because I'm just like, no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, come on, it's holding you back.
Literally.
Go for it.
Literally.
It's amazing. Yeah, no, for me, also a bit of heights, but also starting this podcast was so much anxiety around it. And every time like I emailing you was a mass anxiety. I don't know why it is. It's just like, it's like, I know you could just say no, or you can just not reply, which a lot of people are doing.
A lot of people what?
Yeah, a lot of people are not replying. And that's also okay.
Yeah.
That would be fine.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Reply.
Your reply.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and every like I said, this morning woke up anxious, like, oh god, this podcast, and I don't know, I'm just like, everything is just like, I hope it goes okay, and I've got to get everything ready, and like same thing last night, like
So often in our minds we muster up the worst possible scenario of what could happen.
Yes.
Like with heights or with the podcast, you like that's our human brains are like built to survive.
Yeah.
So often we think of there could be 10 scenarios of what would happen.
Yeah.
And we think of the worst.
Yeah.
And we often let that control then what we end up doing.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
often that thing will never happen.
and the growth happens in like just the, you know, being in the fear and just like going ahead with it.
Yeah.
True.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Matt, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been incredible. Is there anything you want to plug? Any causes or your website?
Sure. I mean, if you want to follow my journey, my Instagram is Matt Bromley Surf.
Yeah.
If you want to get hold of me for public speaking or anything like that, or coaching, you can message me either through Instagram. My website's also mattbromleysurf.com. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's been great.
Yeah,
I learned a lot. Thank you for bearing with my voice.
Oh, shame. No, you did so well.